Hello, good afternoon, and welcome everyone. I hope you can hear me. Yeah, Karin, it's been a long time. Yeah, I'm really grateful. Thanks to all of you colleagues for making the time. I know it's Friday today, and Fridays in Ghana are really untouchable. People are traveling here and there. So I know that you are actually making a lot of sacrifice to be here. I know more are going to join also along the way, but I would like us to start exactly on time. And because of that, I will introduce our guest facilitator for today. You can see her already. She is by name Karin J. Saric, and she is with the University of Southern California Library. Her specialty is in occupational therapy. And so colleagues who are from orthotics, physiotherapy departments from the University of Health and Life Sciences, I'm sure you are going to strike a good friendship and relationship with her moving from here. Colleagues from all the other sciences, NGO sector, and the rest who are also interested in that subject area. She's open to support and collaborate in your areas of work. So this afternoon, as we are all aware, we set it aside because on the Wednesday meeting that we had, we focused on discipline-specific collections, and we had to have we had breakout rooms on Zoom. So some of us did not get, to experience what others did in the various rooms. But today, we are going to be dealing with the interdisciplinary resources. These ones cut across all our special areas. And they are very important because most of them are also internet-based resources that are not necessarily subscription-based or under Research4Life. So you'll find them very useful, particularly as recommendations for your students. And of course, our NGO friends, I can assure you today, you are going to have some very interesting resources that will be very helpful in your areas of work, in community development and policy engagement issues. So the long talk short, we want to welcome Karin and allow her to interact with us as we go along. More people are joining, and I know more will join again. Karin, we are welcome. We are actually leaving everything in your hands from now.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yes, please.
Okay, perfect. Okay, let me just share my screen and get everything going.
Yes.
Get Zoom where it needs to be. Okay, let me get you all back here so I can see you. View speaker, I think will be okay. Okay, so I won't be able to see you now that Zoom is up, but you can still see me. And as Fred said, my name is Karin Saric. I am a medical librarian at the University of Southern California. So thank you for letting me join your workshop today. I've done several in-person trainings in Ghana back in 2017 and 2018. And online is not quite the same, but it's still lovely to be connecting with all of you. I love Ghana so much, so it's nice to just even be connecting online. So today I'm going to be going over some additional interdisciplinary resources that may be of use to you. And I just realized I forgot my sharing this screen. Okay, can you see my screen? It should say additional resources. Hopefully you're seeing that. I can't see any of you now, so hopefully you're seeing my screen here.
Yes,
okay, thank you so much for, Zoom. Okay. All right, so let me get, and now it moved other controls. So let's get these out of the way. There we go. Okay. Okay, so these tools that I'm going to go over with you today, they can be organized into the following categories. So we have aggregator search tools and repositories, and these try to provide you with a one-stop shop access point to a lot of information. We have free eJournal resources. We have theses and dissertation portals. And then under miscellaneous tools, we're going to look at some Google custom searches, and then we'll end with eBooks. So depending on your specific information needs, whether you're looking for peer review articles, literature around policy issues, or teaching material, some of these tools are going to be more useful than others. And there are about 17 different resources included in this module. I'm only going to go over the ones that are highlighted in yellow, just a few in each category, but links and a summary page to all of the ones listed here are in the slides that Fred made available to you. So feel free to explore the rest of these a little bit more on your own time. There's a lot there. Okay, so for our search example, we're going to be looking for the type of literature that might be relevant for policy writing. So you might need quantitative data regarding what's effective, qualitative data to understand the lived experience of key stakeholders, local information that's specific to Ghana, maybe even the Volta region, some data, demographic or economic data. It's not likely that you're going to find raw data in the majority of these resources, but here and there you might find a resource that will link you to some raw data if you're looking for that. You might need some gray literature, such as white papers or reports, and then background information in case you need to orient yourself better around a specific topic or disease. Books are going to be very useful for that. And you're going to be able to find all this type of literature within the resources that we're going to look at right now. Okay, so all of the resources we're going to be going over today can be searched with just a simple keyword search. And I know you've been going through searching in many different resources and how to structure searches, but this you can search just the same way that you would do a Google search. However, you still want to think about the words that you use and try different terms, since this is what is going to generate a different set of search results for you. So for example, you can include broader or narrower terms. So reproductive health is going to be broader and then narrowing down to maternal health. Resource limited setting, you can keep narrowing down to Africa, Ghana, even Volta region, and all of that using those different terms are going to give you different search results. And then you're going to want to think about your terms in relation to the type of content that you are searching for. So when searching for journal literature, you might want to start with terms that are kind of in the middle. So maternal health Ghana. And then think about the scope of the research studies that you're looking for and which terms they might include in their titles. When searching for a thesis, you might want to add on more specific terms such as socioeconomics, since theses tend to focus on very narrow research topics. Again, different search results. And when searching for books, you will only want to include search terms for the main topic that you're interested in, since that's typically the best way to search book results. It's not going to function the same way as journal research articles. And then I'm sure you're aware of this, but it can be helpful to use quotation marks anytime you have phrases, 2 or more words. You want to try with quotes, try without quotes, again, different results. So, okay, and just a good reminder, you will be able to get to the full text through the majority of the resources that we're going to be looking at, but there are maybe 1 or 2 that do not provide full open access. So if you encounter this, remember, try going back to the Research4Life portals to see if you can access the full text via that avenue. Okay, so starting with aggregator tools and repositories. Our first resource is CORE, and this site allows you to search over 200 million open access articles. It is multidisciplinary, but you should be able to access the full text of anything that you find in CORE. And all you're going to do is drop a couple of keywords into the search box. So you can see here we are searching maternal health Ghana. And I have 2 screenshots here. I just wanted you to see the difference if we were to add quotation marks around just maternal health, the phrase. There's still some overlapping content, but it took our results down from about 1 million, which would be half of that database, down to about 57,000 articles. Okay, and here in the top right, you can change how you sort your search results. And then on the left, you have some filter options to further narrow down your results. Unfortunately, in the filters, the year slider stays at 2002, no matter where you place that slider. But if you want to know which year you're narrowing down to, you can just check right up here in the search bar. And then finally, they do have some similar article links. So make sure that you make use of those. They can be very useful in finding additional literature that is relevant to you. So pretty easy to search. You're going to see most of these resources are, and they're freely available. Okay, Worldwide Science, our next resource. This searches over 100 international science databases and portals. It has a really nice content-specific focus on medicine, agriculture, environment, and basic sciences. And much of the content is open access, but if you encounter something that isn't, again, just check R4L and hopefully you can get it that way. Okay, so again, we're going to do a simple search for maternal health Ghana. And on the results page, you have several filter options. So first, here on the left-hand side, you can go ahead and apply the date range picker right here. And then it defaults to this topic filter tab. And if you scroll down, you're going to see that there are some really nice options here. Decision making is one of the filter options. There's a policy filter. And then here at the top, you have the option to filter by content type. So by papers, multimedia, data, and public access. And then if you click on the visual tab right here, still on the left-hand side, you get this really nice visual breakdown of your search results. And this can really save you a lot of time of having to scroll through all of the search results to look for specific content. So if you click on any of these categories, it's just going to keep narrowing down your results. And you can see here, we click on decision making. And over here, that took us from about 948 articles to about 45. And here you can see the breakdown of those 45 articles as well. So you can continue to drill down and access very specific literature. Okay, and one more aggregator tool that I'm only going to briefly mention is PubMed Central. PubMed Central is not PubMed. They use PubMed in the name of everything, and it makes it a little bit confusing. But PubMed Central is a repository for all full text articles that are in PubMed. So PMC results are not going to include relevant PubMed citations for your research topic if they do not have full text attached to them. So it looks and functions in a very similar manner to PubMed, so you should be comfortable searching it. But if you want to know whether you are in PubMed or PubMed Central, just make sure you check the logo up here on the left-hand side. Okay, so that's it for aggregator tools. Don't forget to explore. There are many others that are included in the module, but those were the ones that I thought would be most relevant to your group. Okay, so moving on to free eJournals. We're only looking at one resource, but the Directory of Open Access Journals is an extremely robust resource. So DOAJ, it searches open access, peer-reviewed journals and articles, and a basic requirement for inclusion is that all content must be freely available without delay. So there's no embargo period. I'm sure you've encountered that. You go to an open access site, you go to get the full text, and oh, it's not available for 6 months. No embargo period in here. So anything that you go to access, you should be able to. Super easy to search this site. You just check either journal or articles, drop your terms into the search box. And then you can see we did maternal health Ghana. Right here, you can sort your results by relevance, and they have other options as well. And then on the left-hand side, you can just filter down by subject matter or year of publication. Okay, next up, our theses and dissertation resource. We're just looking at one as well. Global ETD, so electronic theses and dissertations, allows you to search over 6 million theses and dissertations, and most of them will link to full text. So even if you can't use a thesis as a resource, many times you can't, you can look at the references, and that can also lead to some great evidence-based resources. You know, anytime someone's doing a thesis or dissertation, they've tried to do that heavy lifting of finding all the literature. So it's a great starting point. But when searching, remember, you might want to consider adding keywords with a narrower focus to your search. Again, no right, no wrong, just different options. So we just drop our terms into the search box here. And you can see this time I went ahead and added socioeconomics to my search terms. So that made a little bit of a difference in my search results. And on the left-hand side, you have a couple of filter options. If you click on source, you can filter down by institution. You have language filters, and a little bit different in this database. You can filter by these tags down here at the bottom, and you can see these tags have also been applied here to each citation. And you can click on the citations underneath the articles themselves and search at this point, but your search results are going to be a little bit broader. Obviously, if you click just on Ghana, but then you can try and apply the filter options on the left to see what kind of results that gives you. So it's just a different approach, but again, you're trying to get to the research that you need. Okay, under miscellaneous tools, we are basically going to look at 2 Google custom filters. And similar to how Google Scholar, I'm sure you all use Google Scholar, that helps you narrow down search results just to academic literature instead of just regular Google. Google has designed these custom search filters to help you search for very specific content. So the first custom filter searches through the websites of intergovernmental organizations, such as the WHO, World Bank, and more. And it's not that easy. You can Google for this link, but it's not that easy to find. So I've included it here in the slides for you. And you can just copy and paste the link that's on this page, and it's going to take you directly to the Google custom search. And keep in mind, there is absolutely no identifying information on the site. The only thing you're going to see is just a little custom box up in the top left. Okay, so we run our search, maternal health Ghana, and you can see that our results include literature from the WHO, World Bank, UNICEF, and others. And I just want to point out right here at the bottom, you do have this UNICEF link can take you to some data, UNICEF data. So this is one of those resources that can potentially lead you back to raw data if you were interested in looking at that. The second filter searches the websites of non-governmental organizations, so NGOs. Same thing. To access, just copy paste the link from this slide. And this time you will see this little logo up at the top, so you'll know you're in the right place. And again, we just enter our keywords. And this time you can see that the results contain literature from non-governmental agencies, A lot of you might be familiar with Ghana Population Council. So it's getting you very different search results and very tailored and specific. So these custom searches are very useful and very nice depending on your research topic. Okay, and last up, we have ebook resources, and we're going to look at 2 of those. So remember, books are an excellent resource to orient yourself on a topic that is new to you, and that can happen a lot when you're working in policy. You're not a health researcher and you need to learn about a disease or topic. Books are a great way to do that. Okay, so earlier we looked at the directory of open access journals, and this time we're going to look at the directory of open access books. And content in this resource is also going to be multidisciplinary. Again, super simple to search, but remember, for books, you can search however you want and see what you get. But in general, good practice is to search for the main subject. So here we limit our search terms just to maternal health. And on the results page, you have a couple of basic filters here on the right-hand side. You can filter by categories. And then to access the book, you're just going to click on the title link. Okay, once you're in the book, it can be tricky sometimes in these open access resources, trying to get to the full text of things. So once you're in the book, look for this download URL link. You're going to click on that first. And then on the next page, you're going to see an option to download the PDF. And your eye will probably be drawn to this first. Ignore this. This is just the option to purchase a print copy, but your eye can easily be drawn to that. So I just want to point out, this is how you will access the full text of these resources. Okay, and then our last resource is InTech. And InTech is one of the world's largest open access book publishers, and the only one offering a core content that focuses on STEM, so science, technology, and medicine literature. So this is great, class textbooks, things like that. You can definitely expect to find free access to many current books, which is really nice. A lot of the open access resources tend to have older books. This one has very current literature, all on scientific medical literature. Okay, you can search for entire books or just book chapters. So to search for books, you're going to click on the books link here at the top left. And then next, you're going to see the option to click on any of these filters for subject matter. And I just want to point out, I know we have a mix of people in the class. So some of you, if you're interested in life sciences, if you click on this link, it's going to take you to books on agriculture, environmental sciences, immunology, neuroscience, and more. So make sure you check that out. But for our example, we are going to go ahead and click on the health sciences link. And then on the next page, you're going to see a list of titles down below. If you're interested in the more current titles, you can go to the sort by date drop down, sort by publication year. And then you do have more subject filter options here on this page. So if you wanted to filter down just to medicine, pharmacology, veterinary medicine, and so on, you can click on any of these subject filters here. If you wanted to search just for book chapters, you can use the search box here up on the top right. So we just type in maternal health. And you can see the results look a little different for the chapter level. It's going to give you the chapter title here, and then you can see the full book title right down below. So part of the book, it gives you a link to that right here. Okay, you're going to click on this link to access that chapter. And then once you're in the chapter, you're going to see options to download. Looks a little different in this resource, but again, register to download for free. You have some options to email these to yourself, save them to citation managers. A little different, but same results. Okay, and here are links to a few more resources. These were not included in our original summary list at the beginning, so make sure you take a look at these resources as well. And that's it as far as going over resources. What I want to do right now is just take a couple of minutes to do a short demo across a few of these resources so you can see the difference in search results going from Hinari into some of these free resources. So let me get over. Hopefully everything holds. Okay, you should be seeing the Hinari front page now. Okay, so as I said, what I want to do now is just run another demo search through different resources. You can see the different results. So we're going to look at Hinari. We're going to look at worldwide science and then the Google custom search for NGOs. So you can see, hopefully that's big enough right here, but you can see I dropped in the terms climate change, livestock Ghana into the Hinari summon search, which I believe you've all explored thoroughly these past few weeks. Okay, we're just going to click on last 5 years here on the left-hand side. Okay, and I'm going to scroll down so you can see some of the literature that you're seeing in here, so you can compare to what you're going to see in the other resources. So you can choose some of the titles here. This one's nice, optimal decision making under the impacts of climate change. Northern Ghana, so I don't know if they go, well, Volta region or how far north they're talking about there. But you can see West Africa. Okay. So now let's go to worldwide science. And you can see that we are using the same search terms, climate change, livestock Ghana. Go ahead, search. Okay, on the results page, we'll go ahead, click on date range picker here. We're going to scroll over to, let's try and do 2016. We can get it there. Okay. And then down below, we'll go ahead and they had under topics, they had a climate change adaptation. Here we go, adaptation. We're going to filter down. So adaptation strategies. Okay. And that gets us down to 20. Oh, here we go. It allows you to add additional results. I'm going to go ahead and say yes. Okay, there we go. And now we need to filter again. Okay, that gets us down to about 36 results. You can see right there. Okay, if you click on visual, you can see we can go ahead and drill down further. And you can see that the literature is a little bit different than what we were seeing in Hinari. Okay, a lot of those are repeating. All right, and then the last one we're going to take a look at is the Google custom search. And something I did right here is I have the same search terms. You can see right here. We still have our climate change, livestock Ghana, but this has absolutely no filters. So to try to get to the most current literature around this, I went ahead and just added 2020 into my search terms as well. Okay, and you can see different literature coming from different NGOs. But what I want to point out, if we click right here, climate risk country profile, if we actually click on this resource and scroll down, you can see that this is a World Bank report from 2021. So there might be some relevant information in there, and that wouldn't be so obvious just from looking at the title of that. So sometimes you actually want to click on these resources and drill down and see what's inside of them. So you can see that it was a little bit different content than what you would expect to find in Hinari. So, okay, so that is all that I have for you. Let me go ahead and stop sharing well, let me keep it up just in case. I think we are probably right at our time. It was about 30 minutes. We have a couple of minutes. If anybody wants to drop some research topics into the chat, we can try searching for those as well in a couple of these resources. Fred, I don't know if you're still with us, if you want to go ahead.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, but hopefully through all of those resources, if you found at least one or two that are relevant to you, that's going to be excellent. And remember, you want to go ahead, explore a couple of the other ones on your own as well. And then Fred, I don't know if there's time, if you want us to try and do a couple of demo searches, it's up to you from here. Thank you though.
Yes, I wish we could do a search on health policy.
Health policy around which topic?
Health insurance.
Okay, so let's try worldwide science.
Okay.
And let's just try health insurance policy.
Yes, Ghana.
In Ghana.
Yes.
Okay, without even filtering, you can see right here, patient satisfaction with primary health care, comparison between the insured, non-insured under the National Health Insurance Policy in Ghana. That's not bad results for a database such as this. Policy initiation, political levels in health policy, lessons from Ghana's health insurance. We'll go ahead and add these additional 480, see what that changes. 2018, uptake of health insurance. Does this seem like it would be relevant to your expectation, Fred?
Yes.
Okay, and then let's look at the same. We'll go ahead, take this, see what we get with NGOs. We'll try it for, well, let's try. I'm going to try putting in 2020 just to see if that gets us more current.
Yes.
Not as much here.
Mhm.
Well, let's try in Hinari then and see what we get. Okay, and we can filter for the last 5 years just to see. Okay, and different, but still you're getting policy, policy feedback, health insurance in Ghana, and different than what we were seeing in worldwide science. So always you want to check at least 2 resources, and you can see this is a great example as to why.
Yeah.
So.
I have a search string request in the chats. Someone says research ethics framework on animal use in Ghana.
Okay, give me a second to think. Okay, frame that search.
Or you can just copy from the chats.
I'm trying to research ethics. Okay,
Framework.
but we want, okay, thank you. That does help. Let's try worldwide science first. And let's adjust our search terms a little bit. Research ethics framework. Okay, let's just animal use, Ghana.
Ghana.
Let's get rid of these prepositions and extra words. Okay, let's see if this gets us anything. Glow in animal health. Preparing for advanced practice radiation. This one, I think we would have to tailor our search terms a little bit more. Let's see really quick what pulls up in Hinari as well, just because Hinari searching books as well. And that's probably going to get you better results than just, you're looking for frameworks, and books might have better content around that. So right there, you can see research into institutional approaches to research integrity, whether that's about animals, you would have to see. Okay, and then I would probably try filtering down by books as well. Book chapter maybe. But I don't know that these resources that we looked at would be the best. We could try InTech and just see research ethics framework. I didn't pull that one up, but let's try really quick, see. And I would just search research ethics here. Okay, here you go. Research ethics, animals, animal. Research involving animals. So there's something right there. Ethics in research involving animal experimentation. So you can see InTech is looking only at books. So we're getting better results here. And we would have to go into this to see. Okay, we'd have to drill down deeper, which I don't think in a live demo I want to go into right now, but we could get to something around there. So does that feel like it gives you a sense of what you can get to? Like the best places to start for that would probably be books. Any other questions or another topic?
Well, I want to ask a question at this point. Yeah, I observed when you were editing the string suggested, you said we should take off the prepositions and all those small words. Yeah, I want to find out. I know usually people just simply enter their search queries as full sentences as it occurs. Sometimes they just simply copy a whole question and paste in a search engine. Now, technically, is there something wrong with that? Or is there a reason why we appear more telegraphic with the search string or search terms that we put inside the search engines?
So you could, there's the thing about searching, there's technically very little right or wrong. Everything is a different option. So I think it's okay to try. You know, you drop in a whole sentence, you might find something relevant. That's not wrong. I don't want to say that's wrong, but just as best practices go, algorithms are running your searches behind the scenes. And I don't know if you all remember, at least when I was growing up in algebra, sometimes you had those formulas and they had parentheses around them. And you had, you know, it tells you when you're trying to do an algebra problem, first you do this operation, then you do that operation. It's the same thing when you're structuring your search strategies with databases. The way you put in your terms and which terms you put in are going to generate different search results for you. So that's the simple, quick answer. As far as best practices go, you want to get rid of those adjectives, any descriptors, and you want to just get down to your simple concepts, down to 2 or 3. So, you know, research ethics, animal use, Ghana, 3 concepts right there. You start adding additional concepts, you typically get 0 results. And, you know, then you as the researcher, if you're interested, you know, in a specific aspect, a specific outcome, then you'll look at the literature, you'll look at the titles and abstracts to look for those outcomes, but you're really just trying to narrow down to your problem, possibly the intervention or the area of interest, and just keep it down to 2, maybe 3 research concepts and simple words to try and get to the best results. Just because behind the scenes, that's what's giving the databases the best instructions to get the most relevant literature for you. So we could do a whole thing on that, and you would see if you, I mean, I've done it. You sit there, you test out different things. As a librarian, you're sitting there testing out search topics all the time, and that does tend to give you better results.
Yes. Yes, and thanks for that answer. And I think that also brings us to the issue of index terms in specific databases. For example, I know PubMed and PMC, they use the MESH, the medical subject headings.
Yeah.
But we haven't specifically touched on that yet. We are hoping to actually take the participants through something like that in the face-to-face workshop that is coming off next week.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think that that actually explains, as you mentioned, yeah, of course, there are algorithms behind the scenes that are actually manipulating these words and trying to map the search query onto the terms that are actually inside the database itself in order to retrieve relevant results. And so it is important for us, I think, from the very start to identify, based on our topic or problem, the appropriate databases or where to look, and then try to sort of understand that database, its language and approach, or maybe some little search tips about that particular retrieval system, which could help. I'm not sure how easy it is to spot the search tips for various databases anyway, apart from the fact that I know specific languages like the Mesh or Aggregator or whatever. But is it really easy spotting or identifying the index terms for a particular database, or you have to do some search around it yourself?
It just depends if the database has controlled vocabulary or index terms. So some of them do not. But typically the more, I don't know which databases you have access to right now, but typically like the vendor provided databases are going to have controlled vocabulary. So PubMed has Mesh, CINAHL has CINAHL headings, Embase has Mtree. All of those are controlled vocabulary and function, how you're saying. And then there will be the link that will take you to that list of terms. But public databases such as these, they don't have index terms. They don't have controlled vocabulary typically. So that's why it's really important for you to think about, oh, I'm searching for books. Okay, you know, here we did research ethics and animals, but if I put a whole, like, let's do that really quick in here. Let's see what comes up if we put in this whole phrase, let's see what we get. So you see, you get very different search results. It did come up. That was nice, the ethics research. So this database actually does give you some pretty good results. But other databases, when you type in an entire sentence, they might generate, like this might not come up, you know. So this doesn't have indexing terms like you're talking about. And the public ones typically don't.
Okay.
It takes a lot of work to construct that behind the scenes. So
yes. In fact, I wish you could show us the CINAHL headings. I haven't tried that myself.
If you have 2 seconds, I can show you really quick, like PubMed.
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Okay, I'll oh wait, am I still sharing my screen? You're seeing my screen,
yes,
right?
Please. You can see.
Okay. Yes. I'm gonna pull it up through my library really fast. Okay, and this, what Fred is talking about, controlled vocabulary, it's different than the keyword searches that we're doing right now. So here our library defaults to PubMed. So I'm just going to click here. And I'm going to go to, click on here to go to the front page of PubMed. Okay, and right here, the mesh database. Okay, I'm going to search for something really quick that I can think of is hemiplegia. Okay, and this, we're going to go into the mesh record, mass media and use of contraceptives. Okay, I would be able to do that right now. Maybe we could get to it, but you can see what's really, really powerful when you search with controlled vocabulary is that the database is being instructed to search to find articles that are specifically about this topic, because the word hemiplegia can show up a million times in articles about, you know, health and medical research, but the article itself is not specifically about hemiplegia. When you search with controlled vocabulary, it's organized in the background to return articles that are about hemiplegia. And here it searches all of these synonyms for you as well. So you don't have to think of every single way to talk about hemiplegia. And you can also narrow down if you just wanted hemiplegia therapy. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead, search PubMed using just this controlled vocabulary. And if you go into these articles, let me pull one up. If I go to mesh terms, you're going to see they function like hashtags. If you use social media and you know when you search with keywords for something versus searching with a hashtag, controlled vocabulary functions like a hashtag. So if I click on this, I'm going to get articles that are all about stroke diagnosis. I'm going to just search that in PubMed. Okay, versus if I were to put in keywords around that, at the end of the day, what you're going to get is just different search results. And then I don't know where we are in time, but I'll show you CINAHL really quick. Okay. Let's go back here. The fastest way for me to get to it. Article databases. We have CINAHL complete, but so it might be slightly different if you have a different version. We have to do the 10 million logins. And they're all going to look a little bit different. So we're going to go in here and here's your searches, but here it's not called mesh, but they're controlled vocabularies called CINAHL subject headings.
Wow, great.
Mm-hmm. And we'll search for the same one. So you search it like a dictionary. You would definitely not want to put an entire sentence in here. This, you definitely want to search just like one concept, one term at a time. Otherwise, you won't get results when searching controlled vocabulary. So you can see here we have hemiplegia. In CINAHL, I'm going to click on this link. Okay, and you can see similar to PubMed, the same details are here, but they're in different places. So if I want to see, let me see if I click right here on hemiplegia, here are the subheadings. So in PubMed, I did therapy. You can see there's also a therapy option here. And we didn't go into the paralysis record in PubMed, but you can see right here, hemiplegia is a narrower aspect of paralysis. I can jump back there really quick and show you as well. Okay, here we go. Right here, hemiplegia, if we were to move up, it's a narrower aspect of paralysis. So you can see it's similar in CINAHL and in PubMed, how you're searching. That's like a whole lecture I could do on control
exactly. I was just looking at that.
Yeah. And then in Embase, I don't know if you have access to Embase, it's going to look a little bit different. They're called Emtree terms and so on and so on. But in these public databases, you don't have controlled vocabulary typically.
Yeah. Okay, so just a quick one on the suggestion in the chat, impact of mass media and the use. I'm sure it's supposed to be on the use of contraceptives. So let me say I have this idea that I want to search about. Okay. Yeah. And I don't know pretty well where to look. But looking at this topic, maybe from an NGO background, I'm thinking about a project concept, perhaps to promote contraceptive use, and want to see if we can get a grant, for some media work or whatever. Where possibly should I look? Maybe is it in Google custom searches to see what perhaps other NGOs have done, maybe government policy stuff, or maybe in the scientific literature?
You want to look in at least 2 to 3 places. And then for that, you'd have to think about do you have access to ProQuest Social Sciences? I don't know what you have access, but let's just try Hinari, because that
Hinari, yes.
Yeah, it's supposed to give you access to all of this. That's sort of the point. But quick question, mass media or social media? And that's going to make a big difference as well. We could try an advanced search. We could try, have you done Boolean searching yet? We could try
yet.
Both. We could do, I'm going to do mass media, or especially right now, social media. I would definitely encourage that. So in Hinari, I don't know, have you looked at this search yet? And contraceptives. And what would be a quick synonym for that? Birth control.
Yeah.
Do contraceptive. Actually, I don't have to put this in here because I'm doing it in these boxes. So second, contraceptive, or I haven't searched in Hinari because I don't have access to it. Contraceptive or birth control. Okay, putting quotation marks would make a difference too, but it's good to try without first. And then if you're not getting the results you want, try putting quotation marks. Barriers to modern contraceptive methods, diffusion effect, modern use in birth control, science in the media, historical review of the relationship, community influences on modern contraceptive use. Let's see. One place, okay, we're doing this super fast, but I'm throwing ideas at you.
Yeah.
So this is good. You can see you definitely get something here. There is a database called Dimensions, and you can search it. If you don't have full access to it, you can definitely search it for free and then go back to see if there's full text, and you can't, if you don't have access, let's do Dimension. Let me just get to it from here. It's faster.
Fortunately, it is available through Research for Life.
I saw it on the list because I know it differs by country. You have access to Dimensions?
Yes.
This is excellent. This database, I won't launch into details, but this has a very broad search engine. It tries to do the entire research landscape and make connections for you. So we can take that same search, we drop it here into the search box. This one does support sentence searching. You could take a whole abstract and drop it in here and search it. So this search engine right now to me it's one of the newest and most robust ones.
Yes.
But we can see really quick. Okay, oral contraceptives. I'm not seeing this mass media as much here, so we would probably have to change our search terms a little bit to adjust for that. Mass media exposure, contraceptive use, young Nigerians. If we could try adding Ghana. See if that gives us anything. And let's see, you can see Ghana, see if it makes it very specific. But you can see 3 concepts. That's typically what you want to keep your searches to. Here we go. Modern contraceptive use in Ghana, predictors, policy implications. And you can see, I just added Ghana and look at the difference in our search results.
Yes. Northern
Ghana, community-based study. The social media, we'd probably have to play around with the search terms a little bit more just to try to get to that. But you can see, you might have to look inside of the literature. If it's pulling these up and we have those terms in there, they might talk about media, even if it's not in the title. And we're going to take this search, drop it into Hinari really fast, just see if changing that. Okay, and then I will stop there so I don't, librarians can keep searching forever. Okay, let's drop that in there. And see if that made a difference. Okay. That's the same one that came up in the other one, but. Okay, so the mass media part, sorry, I mean, these searches take a long time. So this is great evidence. It's not even for a librarian that you could just know and drop the terms in and there you are. For all of us, it takes this iterative process of going back and forth and saying, did these terms get me exactly what I wanted? This is getting me content. Here we go, impact of mass media families here. So that's really good. And this is in Hinari. I mean, that's not bad right there. So you could click on that, see if there's snowballing, see similar articles, but the search process takes time and for all of us, but you can see that in person live now. So.
Wow. Yeah, this is great, Karin. I'm very happy, especially about your conclusions, because I know a lot of people get frustrated when they put in the first few keywords and the results are not coming the way they want. The conclusion, oh, there's nothing. But the truth is, as you have said, searching takes time. And
yes.
2, it is highly iterative. I mean, there is no straight continuum of start and end of search. You keep going back and forth, revising the keywords, trying to, vary your search query, apply the various techniques, change databases. So searching is actually a whole enterprise. And it involves a lot of hard work. That is one thing we must actually put at the back of our minds. So and there's no one database that answers everything. No, you would have to combine.
Does not exist in this world.
Exactly.
It does not. You can see I just dropped the same search into the NGO Google custom search. Totally different content. It's expected. So yeah, search in a few places.
Wow.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Oh, no, it's right. I'm even observing the results. I'm very much interested in this, particularly because of our NGO friends. I believe that, yes, they use a lot of data in planning and preparing their grant proposals and all of that. And it's great. But if I may ask, to be honest, as you indicated, I tried locating the Google custom search on the open web and it was nowhere to be found.
Oh,
yes.
Let me, that's why it's there. It's not, let's see. It's just not easy to find. I'll do the intergovernmental. And also spelling is super important in these databases. Very many times, if you don't spell the words correctly, it'll impact your search results.
Okay.
But see, I put Google custom search intergovernmental. Here it is right here. Intergovernmental organization search engine, Google. It is not easy to find. So I put the links into the slide for you. Because, and then look, and then you get there and there's absolutely nothing. And you have no idea,
you'll be lost.
Is this it? Is this a reliable source? So I put those links into the slides for you because there's no way you're a researcher by yourself. You get to this, if you even know this exists, that you're in the right place. Exactly. And then we'll drop the search in there. This is the intergovernmental one. You can see totally different search results compared to our NGO one.
That's a very interesting topic. I just saw the first result, born too soon. Yes.
Global Action. Yes, 2012.
Dr. Da, I'm sure Dr. Da is on the line. He is specialized in the area of pediatric, the births and stuff. Dr. Da, if you are there, you can help. I think we got a result like that for you. I wonder why I didn't got that result, but I just recognize the title. That is interesting. So we could have actually gone through. So, and that is supposed to be about policy or something.
Let's see. We could the Global Action Report on Preterm Birth, and this one.
Oh, and that's the full text.
Yeah.
28 pages. Yeah. Wow.
And then you could do Control F and see if there's anything on mass media in here.
Yeah.
Which doesn't look like there is, but maybe just media. Okay. So, and let's see. But go ahead. I have one more.
I'm just amazed about this. I think it's one of the great opportunities we have had in this session to understand, of course, when we are gauging success with our search efforts, very important is the sources where we are looking, because these can determine how successful our work will be or our effort will be in terms of the results. I am really much amazed about the Google custom search. And I think that it's one great area to explore. I know a lot of the people currently on are librarians, and they are going to actually be, in fact, all the people in this training are trainers in training. And so the idea is they are going to go and replicate this training to their department, schools, and institution level members and these students. So I am very much happy about all this new stuff that we are getting, particularly with these open ones that do not necessarily require subscription, because of course, in our part of the world, subscriptions are very costly. And I'm sure most of the institutions do not even have a single subscription. So the students largely depend on the normal Google search. And it will be a great opportunity to actually know that all these things are actually there that can help us to have one filter above the Google world in terms of scholarly materials and all of that, particularly with our students, most of them undergraduate, professional. I'm sure that what is most important to them is the ebooks. So it's really a great idea to understand that all these collections are available open access, and they are high quality materials, and for them to be able to have free access to them, I think it's a great opportunity for us to be in this particular training. So it's like I'm talking alone. So I'll find out if other colleagues have some questions or something they want to add. Well, they can bring it on board now as we prepare to close this session. So thanks, colleagues. You can either raise your hand or just simply unmute yourself and speak up, or drop your comment or question in the chat and I'll read it out. Thank you.
And just to support, really, one last comment about what Fred is saying. Even all these subscription resources, a lot of NGO content is not going to be in those. In terms of thinking about the resource you're looking at for the content you're interested in, NGO content and NGOs are very powerful partners in healthcare in Africa and many other countries. And their content is not going to be in these subscription databases, because those are typically journal articles that, go through all of those journals, where NGOs, if you look on their websites, if you look the Google custom search, that's where you're going to find the content that NGOs are putting out, because they're just going through different channels to share their knowledge. So it's exactly what Fred's saying. Think about the resource to get to the content that you're interested in. And it's not all behind these paid walls. So.
Thanks a lot. Yes, colleagues. Any suggestions, questions, contributions to make? Amy, are you there?
Even if it's beyond what we just talked about.
Yeah, please, I'm here.
Okay.
The session has been very helpful. And in fact, I've I don't know most of the things, and it has opened my eyes, and I'm very, very grateful for this session. Thank you so much, Karin.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.
Are you all using Google Scholar too? Because it's different than Google. Are you using that? I don't know for sure. Fred, are you mostly, is everyone using Google Scholar? Did you cover that already?
Yes, Lenny actually took us through Google Scholar.
Good, okay.
Yes, and most of our colleagues already use that.
Okay, good.
Yes, a great tool.
Yes.
Yeah, Fred.
Hello, Jonathan.
Yeah, it's really amazing that there is so much that we can do with Google, but we don't know.
Yeah.
It is really, really enlightening to be part of this training this afternoon. Very happy. I am just amazed.
Yeah.
I'm just seriously amazed. And I don't know that all these open access databases exist. Seriously.
Wow.
Yes. So I'm happy. Thank you to the coordinator.
Thanks a lot, Jonathan. Yeah, it's great. I know everybody knows or has heard about Google, but once we say Google, everybody knows just that search engine. But there's more to Google. I remember I was interacting with some of my students, and many people do not even know that YouTube is a Google service. They think YouTube is a different thing. So once you say Google, it's just that small search engine. But yes, of course,
Yeah,
Google
exactly.
is a suite of services, and it contains a lot. I think one of the channels that I created on the our Teams page, Microsoft Teams page, is Google Workspace. The intention is for us to explore most of these tools. If you observe most of the quizzes we are doing, evaluations that we are filling, I've been deploying Google Forms to do most of these works. So of course, Google is very helpful as a tool if we understand the various aspects. I think there was one time I even came across a program, a competency-based program, which is it Google Scholar or Google what? Google something. I was surprised. They actually have a training program like that. So you could connect and learn Google as we are learning Research for Life now and become an expert in Google. You know, so yeah, of course, it's great. And we have to be very grateful to Karin. To be honest with you, you know, our time zones are different, and these colleagues have always tried to be very, very helpful. It doesn't matter what time you call them, they try to sacrifice their sleep and other stuff, you know, to be here with us. We have to be very thankful to them. Lenny, yeah, Lenny has always been with us. He's willing to come again. Karin is here. So, of course, I mentioned already that her special area is therapy, occupational therapy. Okay, and she's a medical librarian, of course. So for the librarians here, now we have medical and health sciences university, and I think most of our traditional universities are also going to health science and medical education now. So for us, those who aspire to be medical librarians, I think it is a step beyond the regular librarianship that we are doing. It is through these relationships and connections that we begin to ask questions in order to chart a career path. So beyond the search that we have seen here, I think Karin will be open to give us mentoring in terms of any special interest we may have in medical librarianship. I think, Karin, I'm really thinking about that. I'm thinking about shifting into medical or health sciences librarianship at PhD level. That's what I'm thinking. So, well, we'll be talking more.
Yeah,
what I need to do. Do I have to go to medical school? I don't know. We'll have a chat around that.
Yeah. You definitely don't have to go to medical school because you can see it's different than, yeah. But just to reiterate too, what Dr. Dow is saying, all of this takes a lot of practice, and yes, it does. So constantly going back and doing this, it's like it's a skill set like any other. So if you're a surgeon, you know, you do a surgery once, you're not an expert at it yet. You have to keep doing those things, and this is the same. It's a skill. So.
Yes, thank you so much, Karin. It looks like we don't really have many questions because we are amazed by what we have seen, and we are rather eager to go and practice to test it for ourselves.
Yeah.
So we want to say a very big thank you to you. You realize we couldn't stop at the 30 minutes that we promised. We want to
I
go
know.
on.
It's okay.
Yes.
It's okay.
So thanks a lot for your time. The messages keep pouring in. Everybody's grateful for what you have seen. And I hope that while we practice, if any issues come up, we'll definitely get in touch for your help and support in that area. So at this point, without any new question or comment, I would like to say thank you to everybody else for being part of this. I know it's a Friday and you have tried to stay on to this point, and everybody is actually busy. People are traveling, but they are still interested in hooking up and remaining until this time. We want to be very grateful for your time and everything. As always, remember you are going to have a recording of this session uploaded to channel 08, our weekly fora channel on Teams. So you will not miss anything. For our friends who were not able to join, they will still have access to the full recording, so nothing will be lost. I wish you all the best and a nice weekend to everyone.
And the slides too.
Okay, yes, Karin. So they're asking for the slides. Of course, you have them.
Yes. I sent you the slide. I can send them to you again, but I tailored all of these slides so that I sent you the slides. The original Hinari slides do not have all of those details that I added.
Okay.
I added all those links and everything for you with the examples. I sent you those, Fred, but I can send them again. I'll do it again now.
No problem. I'll share with everyone.
Yeah, so, because if you go to the regular Hinari, it's not going to have all that extra information or even the links to the Google custom searches. So yeah.
All right. So thanks a lot, Karin. And
you're very welcome.
Yes. And
thank you.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Yeah, thank you all for being here. I know it's a lot of time, but
Yeah.
share with your colleagues the secret world of information. So
Thank you.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.